60 Minutes. Tonight we learn about one of the most influential artists of all time. Here's Ed Bradley with more on the story. 1.
His canvas was his diary. His appetite for invention was insatiable. The world has never seen anyone quite like him, and his innovations have yet to be fully understood. Even though he spent most of his life in France, in many ways he never left Spain. His art and soul remained deeply in the 19th century culture of his homeland. Born on October 25, 1881, Pablo Picasso was destined to be one of the greatest artists to put his hand upon the canvas.
So, how was it growing up and being an only child in Malaga?
Well, you know, because I was the only child, my mom just kind of spoiled me a little bit when I was growing up. You know, she took a lot of care of me, you know, brought me around to her friends a lot, 'cause we're pretty wealthy. So now we went out to eat in nice places, you know, got me some good early education in art.
When did you start showing an interest and passion for your art?
Really early, actually, because my mom says, I don't know if it's true or not, but she says my first words were piz, like the end of lapis, word in Spanish. So yeah, that's when I was like 3 or 4, so it's pretty early. And then my dad had a sketch, and I just kind of painted over it, and he was like, wow, this kid's really good at painting.
So you knew just like that you wanted to be an artist and that this was something you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
There's no question in my mind.
Okay, well, I can't argue with that.
Nope.
So, how did you view your father's artwork? Because I know that many people viewed him as being an unsuccessful artist compared to you.
Well, I mean, I think his stuff was kind of before his time. You know, it's really innovative, and people weren't ready for it. So I think that kind of he got judged, and he didn't really have a chance. But I thought his stuff was really good. But me and my dad fought a lot. But I mean, you know, it's kind of a father-son thing. We were really close.
I'm here with Pablo Picasso, and it seems to me that he's making yet another one of his famous paintings. Can you tell me about the Blue Period?
Yeah, it was a really dark time in my life, really depressing, because my best friend, Carlos Jamas, had just committed suicide. So it was a lot of dark, some black, some blues. It wasn't really much other than that, maybe some blue-green. That's about it, all the colors I used.
Oh, not at the table, Carlos.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. But, can you tell me about the Rose Period?
That was a lot more upbeat, because I'd just gotten with another woman. So it was a lot more upbeat, some orange, yellows, a lot of bright, some pinks. Really more upbeat time in my life, so it was a lot better.
And I have an understanding that you were doing some sort of African American or African influence type.
I saw a lot of African artifacts and sculptures, and I did a couple paintings influenced by those, more of that African culture kind of thing.
Wow, I've really always wanted to get into some sort of thing like that, you know, test out my artwork, but mine is probably not as good as yours.
Yeah, probably not.
Now, one of your famous paintings that really sticks out to me is called The Three Musicians. Could you tell me a little more about the Cubism period?
Well, that was me and my buddy Georges Braquet. We started analyzing objects in terms of their shape more. We're looking more of an abstract kind of look at art, which was really innovative at the time. And we used a lot of more brownish, monochrome colors, really neutral colors, not anything standing out. It was more of a plain style of art. It was really innovative at the time.
Okay, good to know.
Thanks, Ed, for that great interview with the legendary Pablo Picasso. Thankfully he had a shirt on this time, because normally when he painted he didn't have a shirt on, like here in this picture. Bob Simon here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the paintings now after Pablo's died and how much their value has gone up. I've got a couple things. I've got a couple ones here on this paper, and I've got a slideshow to show you here. Let me just go to the next one here. No, it's not working. Eugene, I can't work with this here. Eugene. Okay, that's
thanks,
that's better.
Eugene. You're so nice. You're so considerate. Okay. Wow.
All right, that's enough. All right, well, pardon me for the trying to pronounce these. It's a little bit out of my language area, but Dora Mar Achaf, or Chot, this picture here by Pablo on eBay or was sold for $101.9 million. That was his most expensive painting and one of the top 10 most expensive paintings ever sold. The next, Garcon a la Pipe, was sold for $119.4 million. Actually more than the one before I said. This one was one of Pablo's more famous paintings, and this is actually the original here. Les Noches de Pierrette. This one right here. Les Noches de Pierrette was during his blue era. And was sold for $84.9 million. That is a lot of money. Okay. This next one has a cool name, Yo Picasso. Might be pronounced differently than that. I like the Yo Picasso. This one was sold for $83.4 million. Picasso must really be bringing in the dough now. And this one here is Femme aux Bras Crochet, which was sold for $68.5 million. As you can see by these paintings, Picasso was a legend and will be for a long time, and his originals, their price will only go up as they get resold. Thank you for watching in 60 Minutes. Bob Simon here from 60 Minutes, signing off. Me and the crew. Ed, Pablo Picasso, Eugene, coming back next week. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Sorry, Gus.
Hey, yo, was a kid, all I had was a dream, all money won't come to me.
Eugene, come on out here.
Eugene! Bob Simon here again. What a great interview with Picasso. Thank you. Thankfully he had his shirt on. Like in some paintings, normally when he painted he didn't. So, thank you, Picasso.
That's terrible.
What?
No, he was free. He was going good.
Matt Bob Dick. Ah! Thank you, Ed, for that great interview with Picasso. Thankfully he had a shirt on this time, right? Because he didn't when he painted before. All right. Bob Simon here again. Thanks, Ed, for that great interview with the